A beautiful night for some college softball, as we get set to cap off day one of the Littlewood Invitational. Tonight, one of the best returning offenses in Indiana Hoosiers steps onto the field to challenge the Arizona State Sun Devils, whose best is yet to come, as we welcome you inside the press box. Hey everyone, let's have some fun. Jesse O alongside the great Jody Jackson. All right, Jody, this really feels like one of the best offenses in the country versus one of the best pitching and defensive units in the country. What are we expecting to see tonight?
Well, you know, Arizona State, they want to get that offense going as well, but you're right. You know, Kenzie Brown is elite. She'll be on the mound, but Indiana, boy, their bats that continued where they were last season, and earlier this season with their first weekend of ball, because look at what they did against Portland State, Jesse. 23 runs. They really piled up the hits, and 3 homers, in fact. Two in this game from Allie Van Brandt. So really good job of, you know, just getting players on base and bringing them home, piling on against Portland State. Now, it's going to be a much bigger challenge against Arizona State. Kenzie Brown, she is as locked down as they come in all of Division I softball. Last year, 4th in strikeouts in all of softball. She's had starts against Oklahoma and Northwestern, 26 strikeouts, 1 relief outing as well. That's 4th in Division I. I mean, Jesse, it's just so much fun to watch her because she dominates batters. Batters look silly against Kenzie Brown, and it's fun to watch if you're a Sun Devil fan.
Is Kenzie going to shove, or is that Indiana offense going to keep on rolling? We're happy you're spending your night with us here in the Valley of the Sun. First pitch and starting lineups on the other side. Don't go anywhere. A beautiful night here at Farrington Stadium. Temperature still above 70 degrees. A beautiful place for a beautiful game. Indiana and Arizona State getting ready to go head to head as we check out our starting lineup for the Hoosiers here. And clearly no bad spots in their lineup. 23 runs in their first game of the day against Portland State. Portland State actually who went head to head against Arizona State in our second game of the day. So the Hoosiers made them look a little silly.
Yeah, they did. They really piled on, and, you know, they graduated 2 All-Americans in Taylor Minnick and Brianna Copeland, but 5 of the 9 bats return, and Allie Van Brandt's one of those at the top. Alex Cooper, Avery Parker came into today batting .636, so really, really good hitters. They like to, quote, bang the fences and steal bases. That's the motto there, but how hard is that going to be against Kenzie Brown, Jesse? Well, it's going to be real difficult because she's as dominant as they come on the mound. When you talk about some of the best pitchers in all of Division I softball, Kenzie Brown is at the top of that conversation. Her ERA so far, just above 1. We look at that 1 loss, and she beat Northwestern, had a relief appearance also, but then, you know, it was a 2-1 hard luck loss against Oklahoma. So she came very close to getting a win against Oklahoma in the opening weekend. She's got an elite rise ball. I mean, it does make batters look silly, drop, change, and yeah, she spoils you because there aren't many elite strikeout pitchers like this in the game, but she is one of them.
She's only given up 2 runs so far this season. Both of them were earned in that 1-1 record. Really doesn't speak to how good she actually has been. I mean, that only tough spot she had was a home run against Oklahoma. That was a 2-run dinger. That's it. That's all of the offense she's given up this season.
Yeah, and it was tough because, you know, ASU was leading that game 1-0, and then with 1 swing of the bat after a walk, it was a walk and a home run, and that was it. And you're not going to mount, at least ASU didn't on that night, mount a terrific offensive comeback against Oklahoma. But that was quite a pitcher's duel on that night. And so tonight it's Kenzie Brown, Taylor Hess for Indiana. But right now, these batters have been preparing for, they know what to expect. They just don't know how to solve the problem that is Kenzie Brown.
And Indiana's going to hope to do that early here as Allie Van Brandt steps into the box, the second baseman in the left-handed batter's box to start this one off. Boy, when you look at the averages here for Indiana so far, you have Van Brandt hitting over 600, and then Cooper and Parker both hitting in the 2 and 3 spot respectively, hitting over 530.
Yeah,
Call on that outside corner is in there for a strike. Smokey Eds is our home plate umpire, calling the balls and strikes behind the plate. Brett Higgins is down the first baseline, and Todd Foy down the third baseline here in our third game of day one of the Littlewood Invitational. And Kenzie Brown's third pitch of the game.
Yeah.
Van Brandt right on time with that one.
Van Brandt just fouls that one back. And, you know, last year Indiana led the nation in batting average, doubles, on-base percentage. And like I said, they had the 2 All-Americans. But, you know, their coach, Shonda Stanton, told me, so now it's the bottom of the order, ladies moving up to the top. And she expects them to carry the load.
The 1-2. And Kenzie's picking up right where she left off.
Yeah, she's working low in the zone there. I mean, we've seen that devastating rise ball, but here she's working to Van Brandt and continue to see her work the outside corner. And Van Brandt can't square it up. Strikeout number 1 on the night for the strikeout queen, Kenzie Brown.
She's coming off back-to-back 12-plus strikeout games. She misses away there to Alex Cooper. Cooper, the shortstop, again in the left-handed batter's box, and we know what Coach Stanton for Indiana is going to try to do to Kenzie is make her face a lot of lefties. Kenzie, who rarely trails in counts, now in a 2-0 hole.
Yeah, she's working outside to these lefties.
Cooper hit .311 last year in the 2-0. Just misses. So far, Cooper is hitting .556 this year with a .636 on-base percentage, 10 hits and 18 at-bats.
In the previous games, 2 for 4, 3 runs scored.
Brown gets one there.
He's trying to work toward that rise, but it's a good put-away pitch. And right now in the 3-1 count, just trying to avoid walking her.
And that's the one area where she got in a little trouble against Oklahoma. That walk led to the home run in the 3-1 to Cooper. First base runner for the Hoosiers.
Well, Cooper, and again, the top of the lineup, these are some dangerous hitters, and looks a little bit like she was working away from them, which you really don't see. You see Kenzie Brown on the attack against every hitter.
Big swing and a miss there. Avery Parker, who is pretty much an all-conference hitter from the catcher position, hit .392 last year, and coming into this one was absolutely on a heater up until that previous game. Somehow was one of the only players who could not get a hit against Portland State.
And there's a great rise ball. Yeah, Coach Stanton said Avery's a beast. Those 2 All-Americans last year, well, they benefited from her hitting behind them.
She had homered in 3 straight prior to Portland State. We love a phrase that rhymes, by the way. That was awesome.
Little poetry there.
Yep.
She, Coach Stanton also prides herself on recruiting in the state of Indiana, and the Indiana Magic, the club team that Avery came up through, and they've got 2 catchers committed coming through the ranks.
Cooper's on first, and the pitch, this one popped and out of play. Cooper hasn't tried to steal yet this season, and Sammy Swan behind the plate. Not necessarily someone you want to run on unless you get a great jump.
Yeah, Sam Swan does a great job of controlling the run game, but that's what Indiana wants to do. They want to cause chaos.
The 0-2. It's a good throwaway pitch by Brown to try to get Parker to chase something there. 1 ball and 2 strikes now the count. Fouled off to the left side.
Coming inside to Parker, and she's such a good hitter. She can rip that down the left field line, but that's foul. One thing that coach said she's really seen from Kenzie this year is the confidence starting out in these games early on. Maybe last year it was more like adrenaline kind of getting to her, but the composure right out of the gate is something they've seen in the first couple starts.
Parker left that alone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And, you know, when you talk about Kenzie and Coach Bartlett was telling us that Kenzie's greatly been hanging out and learning from John Bartfelt, the coach, and you see it right there.
Well, yeah, Kenzie Brown is looking to strike you out, and even though some of these batters have not been chasing some of these pitches, I mean, this is a perfectly placed pitch right there. Parker just takes it. And so again, 2 strikeouts. There is a runner on first, but first 2 outs are strikeouts, which isn't a surprise for Brown.
1 ball and no strikes to Josie Bird, the first baseman. Bird is homered in 3 of her last 5 games. As Cooper took off there.
She's another one, had 2 hits in that first game, 2 runs driven in.
Good piece of hitting, short and sweet to the ball. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs. Kenzie Brown has already struck out 2 in this inning so far, and the 1-1 to Bird.
And that's where she just elevates the ball, and batters inevitably swing through it. They think they can maybe get their barrel on it, knowing it's going to be high in the zone, but it just has that late rising action.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Bird at the plate. When we talked to Coach Bartlett, she said with Kenzie, it's all about her staying within herself, not overthrowing, just do everything that we know she can do in the 2-2. ASU hasn't had to use the defense so much. Kenzie Brown, 3 strikeouts to start off this inning, and that's the strike 2 pitch, and then the strike 3 coming right back from Brown. I mean, she's cruising on all cylinders. ASU 1-2-3 up next. Back here for the bottom of the first inning. A pretty nice crowd here at Farrington Stadium for the matchup between the Hoosiers and the Sun Devils. We take a look at the starting lineup for the Sun Devils, and a little bit of a switch up in that lineup. You have Tanya Wendell leading off after her big swing in the last game.
Yeah, coach sticking with most of the lineup here for this game, but Tanya Wendell, what a day. She started it off with a pair of walks and then a single in the 4th, a home run in the 6th, which they really needed that because it was 6-5, ASU with the slimmest of leads, and then Wendell came up with the home run. So can she keep it going, Jesse, right here in game 2?
There's the first pitch in there from Taylor Hess. Hess, the lefty southpaw. Behind in the count to Wendell. 1 ball and no strikes. Wendell definitely has been seeing it better at the plate. A 13 All-Region selection in her sophomore year. Now here in her senior season, and seeing the ball now a lot better in these last couple of games, the 2-0.
Yeah, she's shown that she has that patience at the top of the lineup. We saw Kaylee Pond at the top of the lineup last weekend, and now they're wanting to switch it up. So Tanya's been there today in both games.
Even though you might have seen her batting average on that last graphic, that doesn't really convey everything that she's been able to do. She's gotten 5 RBIs so far this season, and her on-base percentage is .357. So the law of averages always works itself out as the count goes even.
Yeah, she had a little bit of a slow start, but again, loves being a Sun Devil from Peoria, Arizona.
Sharply fouled off to the left side as we take a look at her home run in game 1.
Yeah, Tanya, I would say she's not really known for her power because she's such a good doubles and even triples hitter, but this one goes out toward those beach volleyball courts, and I saw Tanya raise her hand in the air as she headed toward first base. Just great to see. But on
Tanya
this
Wendell.
play, Tanya, just a grounder and tries to run it out. We saw her speed come into play in that last game, so very toolsy player, very high IQ player. And but Taylor Hess records that first out. Taylor, she has a win and a loss on the season. She got roughed up at Florida Atlantic. That was their one loss. They lost 8-0, and I'll kind of talk a little bit more from the hitting side as we go on that. But as for the pitching side, only got 1 out in that outing, 3 earned runs, 2 hits, 4 runs that she gave up. She didn't walk anyone, she's just getting hit, and then she really bounced back in a big way against Ohio State. 5 innings. She had 9 strikeouts in that game. Still had some contact with 8 hits, but just 3 runs as they run-ruled them. They run-ruled the Buckeyes 12-3.
"12 runs in that one, 20-plus runs in their last game." I mean, that's just domination from the offensive side. And if they can get their pitching and defense on brand with their offense, this could be a really dangerous Hoosiers team. 1-1 as Shep takes ball 2.
Shep had a great first game as well. Single in the first, single in the second, and a double right after Wendell's homer, doubled in that 6th and stole 3rd.
That's driven to right field at the warning track. Haberstroh makes the catch. Solid contact off the bat of Emily Shep. Just got under it.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking like you were, seeing that ball travel out there to right field, but it wasn't quite enough to get out of here. Just a fly ball routine to right from Emily Shep. But yeah, like I mentioned, her bat was really on display in that last game, and she's just been a great addition to the team.
Katie Chester, the first baseman, hitting .412, comes up to the plate, a .524 on base percentage.
Yeah, what more can we say about Katie Chester, Jesse? We did the game over last weekend, saw what she could do. I mean, kept going in that last game, couple singles, a walk. I think Clutch Katie is pretty accurate.
Yeah. She's got 7 hits on the season so far, 7 RBIs.
Yeah.
And 4 walks, so tough out at the plate.
She seems to thrive with runners in scoring position.
She's way ahead in the count. Think Hess knew the scouting report? Not giving her anything to hit.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If you kind of get behind in the count, if you're okay with giving her the free base, then she swings at a strike. But I think Katie, she's so good at getting that count leverage that's what sets up those clutch hits.
Did she go? No, she did not. ASU has their first base runner.
She did well to hold up right there. I could tell right away that she didn't go, but she did a good job of not breaking that plane, and she knew it. She throws the bat down, goes to first, and with 2 outs, they have something cooking with Ashley Mejia up.
Ashley Mejia playing in right field this game, and now the lefty on lefty matchup as this one's on the ground to second base. Van Brandt makes the decision to take the easy one out at first. 3 gone. Top of the second coming up in a moment. Offense from last season. The fact that they returned most of this is pretty incredible.
Yeah, it really is. And Shonda Stanton, she's taken her team to the NCAA tournament the last 3 seasons. That has never been done in Indiana history. Lots of firsts for Indiana. I think the world knows about the football program, but what about the softball program? And yeah, batting average, doubles, on base percentage, all tops in D1, 4th in runs per game. So she really prides herself on these ladies putting the ball in play, running the bases. And Shonda also the coach of the Athletes Unlimited Softball League Chicago Bandits.
The head coach.
Yes.
Here in her 9th season at IU. Hannah Haberstroh checks into the batter's box and immediately collects a first pitch strike courtesy of Kenzie Brown. Haberstroh, the right fielder, comes into this one hitting .643 on the season. 9 hits and 14 at-bats.
Gaudy numbers.
Popped up. And Millie Roberts is under it to make the catch. A couple of defensive changes from maybe what we saw last week. And Millie Roberts at third and Jasmarie Roberts is at short. So the Roberts are on the left side of the infield.
Yeah, and just, you know, I talked about this a little bit with Ryan Sikora in game 1, the fact that Nahonda Lewis had to leave the game. She's over at second a lot with what looked like a shoulder injury. Tiara Ho-Ching is still out with that little bit of a head injury with the stitches that she needed after being hit by a pitch. So definitely testing the depth.
Brooke Mannon swings at the first pitch she sees. So Kenzie immediately going after the designated player at the plate. Mannon at .357 so far this season. We were talking about doubles also returning to the squad. She's got a double so far this year and is a factor on the base paths, 1 stolen base. No balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, the former Arizona Wildcat. And just to follow up, though, on the infield situation, we saw Yazi Avila bat late in the game. She's going to have her first start at second base today for the Sun Devils.
No balls, 2 strikes to Mannon. 4th strikeout for Kenzie Brown.
There it is, the devastating rise. And Haberstroh just got under that rise, popped it up. And Brooke Mannon, she sees it, or she thinks she does, and it just goes high and away late.
Cassidy Kettleman, the third baseman. Lefty on righty matchup.
Three RBI in that first game of the day for Kettleman.
Still no hits in this ball game so far. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 outs. Bunt laid down towards the third base side. Kenzie Brown is going to mishandle it. A little bit of a communication error between her and Millie Roberts coming down the third base line. And Indiana has their second base runner.
Yeah, that's a tough one here. Kenzie Brown makes the decision pretty quickly. Hey, I'm going to go over and get this ball. And Millie comes in, and Kenzie can kind of feel that presence and feel the bump behind her, can't get it over there. So it hasn't been the cleanest day in the field for the Sun Devils, that is for sure.
Had an error in their last game against Portland State. Kenzie misses on her first pitch to Ellie Goins, the center fielder.
That's the thing about new pieces on the team. You know, you have to get used to each other a little bit.
High fly ball to right field. Mejia is under it, and she makes the play. 3 gone. Kenzie Brown, another strikeout in that inning. Of the second inning, and in their last game, it was close until she went yard.
Certainly did after Tanya Wendell hit a homer. 2 on for Kaylee Pond, and she took it out of here. That really broke open this game. And ASU took that first game against Portland State. It was close, though, throughout the middle of that game. After getting out to a 5-0 lead, Portland State battled back. And the veteran bat of Kaylee Pond, 2 home runs on the season, 1 against Oklahoma, and 1 in that previous game today. So this, the sample size is getting a little bigger now. We can talk about the numbers, and they make sense. So she's batting .313 and looking pretty good coming out of the gate in her first season as a Sun Devil.
From Lafayette, California, not too far away from where my hometown is, and hitting .313 so far this season. We saw her last weekend hitting in the leadoff spot. Now here she is in the 5-hole. You definitely get a lot better pitches to hit if you're hitting 5th in the lineup as well.
Yeah,
and they tend to come right at you.
Yeah, sorry, Jesse. I know I flinched a little bit. I always do that. It's just a habit when you spend
you think the ball's coming right
most
at
of
you?
your life in a dugout well.
Yes.
With baseballs actually coming at you. So I've learned to be careful. I've had a few hit right behind my head where there's like a mark on the wall. That's always a little scary.
On the ground softly to first. Bird's got it and goes unassisted for the first out.
But, I will say this about talking about hitting. So, we talked to Megan Bartlett, and she really wanted her girls to stop thinking so much and not put so much pressure on themselves. And, coming up with 11 runs in that first game, I think they feel good about it. Talking to Shonda Stanton, we talked a little bit about the loss to FAU. It was 8-0. And then they just exploded with 3-run rules. She said something similar without knowing what Megan Bartlett had talked about. She said, we were indecisive, thinking too much, not getting their swing around. So maybe it's a curse if you're a good hitter. You're overthinking a little bit.
Jasmine Roberts in the box, and she's been one of the bright spots.
Yeah, she hasn't been overthinking,
squad.
I don't think.
No, absolutely not.
She's raking.
Hitting .385 so far this year. 3 RBIs on this team. 2 balls and no strikes. She fouls this one back. And it was funny, when we asked Coach Bartlett those questions, she was laughing and saying that even though the team's averages coming into this weekend was .208, they had 19 walks, but she said they had too many type A perfectionists in the dugout. She kept saying, we got so many type A personalities. They want to be the one to get it done. They want to help each other, but they just end up overthinking. As Roberts takes a big cut at that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, she kept saying, it's coming from a good space. Space or place, it's coming from a good place. Like, they love each other, they care about each other, they want to do well. Everyone wants to be the hero, and in reality, you just kind of need to free your mind up and take it pitch by pitch. And eventually, the other thing that I thought was the key was just when they were at the point where they were taking their walks, that's what kind of unlocked the offense.
Yeah.
And that's always the case, right? So
Roberts takes on that one, and that's a big improvement from last week. Obviously, Coach Bartlett wants this team to hunt better pitches and not swing at the bad ones. So the throwaway pitches like that they might have swung at last weekend, obviously Jasmine Marie Roberts, one of the most disciplined players at the plate, drives this one into right field, going over to her right and making the catch about 2 steps next to the line is Haberstroh.
Yeah, and Jasmine Marie Roberts, she does a good job of putting the ball in play, easy catch over there. But yeah, Taylor Hess, I don't know how long she's kind of expected to go in this game. Clearly, so far so good for her. But Brooke Mannon, looks to be warming up a little bit. I mentioned she came from the Wildcats, which means that Aisa Silva and Emily Shep know her well.
First pitch is in there to the catcher, Sammy Swan. Swan hitting .500 so far this season with 2 outs. Behind in the count, 0-2.
Oh, that was a nasty pitch up and away from the right-handed batter.
And the pitch from Hess. Fouled off to the right side.
So Indiana played at 12:45, and then they took a little bit of a break and sat and watched most of that game between Arizona State and Portland State, waiting for this primetime matchup.
Indiana went 34-20 overall last year. In the air to right field. Van Brandt in foul territory, or excuse me, Haberstroh makes the catch. It's a pitcher's duel here at Farrington Stadium. Who's going to give first? Top of the third. Next. Hey, we got 9-1-2 due up for Indiana, and I was just mentioning there in our outro that this has been a pitcher's duel so far. This is fun, defensive matchup.
It really is. These games are tight. I mean, you know Kenzie Brown is going to be out there, so the opposing team, they know how difficult it's going to be. In fact, in talking to Shonda Stanton earlier today, she said, we know we're going to have to try to manufacture runs. That's why you saw a grinding at bat from Alex Cooper, getting on base via the walk, the one base run in the first inning. Then we saw an error, so that was a play really Kettleman would not have been on base. And then, you know, I feel like the other side feels that too. So Taylor Hess and whoever we see coming in from the Hoosiers bullpen is going to feel like you have to be stingy in this game.
And we saw some action in the bullpen for Indiana in the last inning, and clearly might be a pitch by committee game versus Arizona State's just going to hope Kenzie Brown can go the distance. Jada Ellison in the box, lefty on righty matchup again. No balls and 1 strike to the left fielder. She squares around a bunt and offers. It's in there for strike 2.
Yeah, gets ahead quickly on Ellison. And we saw Aisa Silva and Mika Lupe combine for the win in game 1, so they'll be available, of course.
She went all the way around.
Yeah, she just chops at that ball low in the zone. And again, the eye level is just so dramatic with Kenzie Brown. She can use all levels. So right there you see it at one eye level. Then she's going low. That ball drops out of the zone, and Ellison knows she probably should not have offered at that one.
5 Ks through 2 1/3.
And then you mix in the rise, and it just keeps batters guessing. And then the velocity, you know, you can't take that for granted because, you know, Kenzie Brown can really get it up there.
Yeah.
Upper 60s, near 70 as far as velocity.
Allie Van Brandt, who came back from last season hitting .372, the second highest returning batting average on this squad, now trailing 0-1. Struck out in her last at bat, now down 0-2.
I just have to chuckle because if you're, you know, the batters, the one after one, they many times go get down 0-2 to Kenzie, and then she's going to give you that rise most times, or you can know it's coming. It doesn't mean you can hit it.
Doesn't offer at that pitch though.
And that's the key, and that's Allie Van Brandt. You know, knew that was coming. And the thing about the rise is many times it is high out of the zone and you're chasing it. So that was obviously a good take.
The 1-2.
Stays alive on the foul tip.
By the way, no one in this Indiana lineup right now is hitting under .333. I will have you know.
Yep, can confirm.
My math sometimes adds up. The 1-2 from Kenzie. Off to the left side, foul. Great job here by Van Brandt, staying alive at the top of the lineup. Great contact hitter.
Well, you know, she did go 5 for 5 with 7 runs batted in the first game, so I guess she's feeling pretty good at the plate, even though she did strike out in the first frame.
Struck her out twice.
That's just a beautiful changeup. Dirty changeup from Kenzie Brown. You get her sped up. There we go. We've got a great fan piling on the K's. K stands for Kenzie Brown. I love that.
Alex Cooper in the box, and she takes a huge hack at it for strike one.
Boy, they do pile up. What are we at now already? She's got 6.
Yep. Cooper walked in her last at bat, and Kenzie fell behind 0-2, or 2-0, excuse me, to her early, and was really had the only at bat that got away from her. She didn't really have control in, and now evens this one up 1-1. A 1.692 on base percentage and slugging. Holy cow. Guess that's what happens when you have a good game.
Yeah, the top of this lineup is very dangerous. It's crazy to think they were shut out in that very first game, but like I mentioned, after that it was 3-run rules, including against Ohio State, which they're very proud of.
And when you talk about extra base hits, this is a team. She's had 2 triples over their last 4 games and home runs in 2 of their last 4 as well.
I mean, she's just so athletic. She lays off that pitch, which was just outside. So now 3-1, good count. But yeah, the shortstop, running the bases. Alex Cooper has all kinds of tools.
The 3-1 walked her twice. Clearly the one hitter that Kenzie Brown doesn't want to face, if there even is one.
Well, I think I don't necessarily, that one ball was borderline, so I think she was trying to catch a strike there. It would have been 2-2. But, you know, Alex just has a really good idea of the zone.
Parker now to the plate as Cooper goes. This throw from Swan, and it's off of the glove of Jasmine Roberts at short. So the first stolen base of the season for Alex Cooper.
That's what they like to do. They want to steal bases. They had 21 coming into this game, and yeah, just off the glove. I mean, Jasmine Roberts has made some great plays and just couldn't quite make that one, but pretty good throw from Swan. It was a little high. Obviously, you're going to swipe down and make the tag. You want to have that a little bit more on a line.
First time a runner's in scoring position in this ball game. Avery Parker at the plate, the 1-1 to her. Popped up. And a fan's going home with something.
Kids go scurrying to grab the ball.
So now ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kenzie Brown in the circle. Alex Cooper's the runner on second base. And the 1-2 to Parker. 7 strikeouts for the K-Queen.
What a changeup that was from Kenzie Brown as she continues to mow down Indiana's lineup, getting Avery Parker.
A lot of movement here this offseason. A few national transfers, some big names moving around the NCAA.
Yeah, for sure. And those are some of the names. Grace Jenkins, U of A. So talk about in-state, and then of course here at Arizona State with their transfer class, you've got Ulrich from Marshall, Pond from Cal, Silva, and Shep coming up from Tucson, and Millie Roberts right here, who's at the plate right now, spending time at Auburn. It's just part of college sports now. It really is, and it's changed the way. The interesting thing is you still have some absolute stud freshmen that come in and play in the game of softball.
Off speed in there for the first strike of this at-bat to Millie Roberts.
But when you can see competition against other D1s, you know, or even D2, you can get such a better idea of how the player is going to translate to college ball.
And now you can see even a lot of people electing to go the JC route first and then use their first transfer because you get 4 years of college eligibility.
Yeah, experience is key as Taylor Hess gets the strike out of Roberts. And I think with Millie Roberts, I mean, last game we saw her with a single and a walk, but at times she does chase, and it's easy to do against a very nice rise ball with some late movement from the lefty Hess.
He has the Avila. Squares around the bunt. And it takes for ball one.
Looked like it was almost going to graze her. Yeah, Yazzie entered the game for Nahanda Lewis in the batting order.
And she's quickly ahead in the count, 2-0.
Redshirt junior, pardon me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Illinois transfer. Season-ending injuries in 22 and 24 cut short her season, so you know she's excited to get out here and play her redshirt junior season with the Sun Devils.
3 balls and no strikes, and that one's in there. Clearly, Yazzie didn't have the green light there, and still a hitter's count, 3 balls and 1 strike. One out. Our second walk for the Sun Devils this game.
Yeah, Hess just changing speeds there, but that lands outside of the strike zone. And Avila is on base with 1 out, and we're back to the top of the lineup with Tanya Wendell.
Avila over at first base does have 1 stolen bag this year so far in their first weekend of play. Tanya Wendell takes ball 1. Wendell grounded out to second in her last at bat. That 1 home run came in the last game.
Yeah, 15 doubles last year, 3 triples.
Up the middle, base hit. Good piece of hitting by Wendell. Hit it right back from where it came from.
Right up the middle. I think that speaks to the idea of don't think too much, just to see a pitch in the zone and get your bat on it. That one was like it was diving down a little bit in the zone. And Avila at second, Wendell at first, and that was so much fun watching Wendell throw her hand up in the air when she saw that ball going out. That's how I knew it was going out even before it officially went over the fence.
And that was actually our first hit of the ball game now as we have our first meeting on the mound.
So talking to Coach Shonda Stanton, you know, she has, of course, a very trusted coaching staff. That is Chanda Bell, who's been with her the 9 seasons here. And she works with the pitchers, Kendra Kirchhoff as well. And they have a pretty good system where Chandra scouts opposing hitters and Kendra scouts the opposing pitching. It's a well-oiled machine.
This is the first time that the Sun Devils have a runner in scoring position. Brooke Mannon is still going down in the bullpen for IU. This one fouled out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. As Hess immediately gets in front. Avila on second. Wendell's on first, and the back pick not in time to get Avila.
Yeah, you know, it's always a little disconcerting as a pitcher when you've got those runners on base. You have to be concerned with them as well as executing your pitches.
The 1-2. On the ground softly to second base. Van Brandt charging and makes the play at first. 2 gone. An open base at first, but the runners advance.
And in essence, a sacrifice hit. So 2 outs with Clutch Katie up. See if she can do some damage here. The Devils' 3-hole hitter.
Chester walked in her first at bat and takes strike 1.
Nice pitch mix here from Taylor Hess, who is able to land the changeup up in the zone and down. And then has a pretty good rise as well.
One ball, 1 strike to the first baseman. Hess. This is southpaw. Deals. Check swing. Fouled off to the first base side.
That pitch was coming inside, and Katie just half swung at it for a foul ball.
Chester, transfer from Mizzou. Played in 57 games for them as a sophomore last year before transferring here. 36 starts. And 29 RBIs at the plate.
And a defensive swing there. That pitch was outside, and she just got a piece of it to stay alive.
Lived to fight another swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good battle.
It is. When you can extend these at-bats, you make it harder and harder on the pitcher. Of course, it's still just 1 and 2, though, so.
Yep.
Advantage.
She's still
Hess.
trailing in the count.
Yeah.
Hess ahead of this one. In the air to center field as Parker goes back and makes the catch in front of the warning track. Coach Bartlett will be joining us next. Still no score in this ball game with IU due up next. Goes back to work on the mound, and we are joined by the head coach of Kenzie Brown squad, Megan Bartlett. Coach, thanks so much for joining us as always. We appreciate your time. Hey, the bats came alive in the last game. What was working for you guys at the plate?
Yeah, just trying to keep the approach simple, catch barrels out front, watch the ball go. But certainly Indiana's doing a great job right now, and we just got to keep playing the game.
Yeah, Kenzie already, coach, has 7 strikeouts. What are you seeing early from her in this one?
Well, she's changing speeds really well tonight, so for us that's super exciting because her changeup is, you know, dynamic. Of course, the rise ball's wonderful, but when she can change speeds on you, she's pretty tough. So she's competing and she's keeping us in the ball game right now.
How do you wake up the bats in this ball game?
Oh, we just got to stick to the process. It'll fall.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
So that's Coach Bartlett here. Still no score in this ball game, and clearly with the Sun Devils this season, it's the tail of the tape has kind of been when the bats get hot, it usually comes more towards the latter part of the games, except for that last game that you got to call. 5 runs scored in that first inning, and then it was kind of that lull up until inning number 5 or 6.
Yeah, it can be an ebb and flow, and I think, though, what Coach is talking about, staying with the process, is they feel good about it. I mean, they just, hitting is hard. I know that's kind of a cliche, but it is true, and it's just a matter of trying to continue to pitch to your game plan against that opposing pitcher. And that's exactly what Indiana, flipping it around for Indiana. We talked about it. Alex Cooper's got the 2 walks, but otherwise it's been really hard to come by anything against Kenzie Brown, and really hard to avoid striking out. And so Josie Bird, who had 2 hits in that first game, and a strikeout early on in this one. That's the thing, is if you're a victim of Kenzie Brown and you strike out, you go back to the plate thinking, okay, I've seen it now. What can I do differently?
Yeah.
The hard part is it's still really, really hard to make any contact.
Well, she's ahead in the count at the plate right now as Brown gets her first strike. 2 balls and 1 strike now as Josie Bird at the plate, hitting .333, hitting .500 so far this season, leading off an inning. 8 RBIs for the first baseman as well. And she is quickly ahead and has a great hitter's count. 3 balls and 1 strike.
I mean, for as many times as Kenzie gets the batter down 0-2, I mean, she's human. She's going to throw balls here and there, and good hitters are not going to chase everything.
Takes inside there, and that's the 3rd walk of the game for Kenzie Brown.
I mean, I think that has to be the approach, right? That's the conversation in that dugout is, make her throw strikes, because the rise is going to be effective. I mean, to be honest, depending on the opponent, I've seen the rise be effective early and late in counts. But if you don't, it's very, it's her money pitch, right? So you get the 2 strikes on a batter. So it's been avoiding that, right? Getting in the good count, getting in 3-1 counts.
And we have a pinch runner over at first, Peyton Drummond, number 35. She's got good speed over there. Got 1 stolen bag on the year so far. Hannah Haberstroh now to the plate, popped out to third in her first at bat 2 innings ago now. And the first pitch is outside, ball 1.
We talked a little bit about the pitching coach, John Bargfeld, and he goes back to Tulsa with Kenzie. He recruited her there. She went to a camp out there at Tulsa, which was, of course, her first school out of high school. So that's kind of a neat story that comes full circle here with John coming in and becoming the pitching coach here at Arizona State this year.
Coach Bartlett was telling us that it was cool for him because he's always had this relationship with Kenzie, and now he really came here to coach the pitching staff, but especially to coach her. 2 balls and no strikes, and probably a big reason that she did stay, coming off of the year she had last year. Clearly could have gone somewhere else, but loves ASU and chose to stay, and now 3 balls and no strikes, and immediately 4 balls in a row. Swan calls time and goes to talk to her pitcher. And those 2 have a special bond.
I think, too, when you look at the approach by these Indiana hitters, again, it goes back to if you're not getting the swing and miss, you're going to end up, walking a few more batters or just being in higher ball counts.
3 balls, no strikes. 2 walks in a row, and she's thrown 5 balls in a row now.
Yeah, it's a little bit uncharacteristic for sure. But Kenzie, she's a perfectionist in many ways. She is all business, and if anyone can get out of this, she certainly can. But yeah, first 2 batters reach.
First pitch in there against Brooke Mannon for a strike. Mannon was the one warming up down that first base line. Now here she is in the box and currently serving as the designated player. 0-1. And Kenzie Brown quickly gets ahead in the count. So the two base runners, Haberstroh on first and Josie Bird is on second.
And that caught the inside corner. Borderline pitch that went Kenzie's way.
Kenzie misses on that one. So Kenzie Brown has walked 4 batters now in this ball game. Only the other time she's walked 4 batters was against Oklahoma. Other than that, she has not walked a batter. Besides in this game in the 1 and 2. Softly in the air, and that's going to land in right field. Haberstroh, Bird thrown out at the plate there. Nice play in right field by Mejia.
Yeah, Mejia came up throwing, quickly got rid of the ball, and a nice tag by Sam Swan. So that's where the defense comes up. This one is just in between the second baseman and right field, but Mejia to Swan, and really nice play to get the out right there. Just kind of
Haberstroh now on third base, and Mannon goes to second after reaching on that fielder's choice. Nice play by Mejia in right field. 1 away, and an open base for Kenzie Brown to pitch to now at first. So the first hit of the game for Indiana.
Yeah, the first hit, and again, the other base runners, many times we see with Kenzie, she's not giving up hits, not giving up too many hits. You might see some free passes. We did see a base runner on an error, but the first hit did not come here until the 4th inning.
Mannon on second, Haberstroh's on first, and the pitch. This is a bunt down the third baseline, foul. And Cassidy Kettleman trailing in the count. So Mannon gets the first single for Indiana in this ball game, goes over to second after Mejia threw it home.
Mannon is 4 for 4 on the day. It's
wow.
Pretty good, pretty good.
With 1 out, the 1-2. 8 strikeouts for Kenzie Brown, and that could not have come at a more perfect time.
Big swing from Cassidy Kettleman, and she goes down. Another victim of Kenzie Brown's strikeout numbers. That's the 8th on the night.
And with 2 outs, here's Goins.
Well, that was the inside corner again. I feel like that there was a pitch, I think, to Haberstroh that was right in that spot that was called a strike. So she's trying to catch that inside corner, and many times she does.
Off the glove of Brown, and this is going to score a run. Coming around from second is Mannon. She's also going to score. 2 RBIs for Ellie Goins.
Yeah, Ellie Goins just tries to knock this one back up the middle. It's a little bit of an inside pitch and a tough one for Brown as she just gets the glove out there. You can't blame her for trying to field it, but you almost think if it didn't hit her glove, maybe that's, no problem. That's your 3rd out, but that's the way it went. And that's kind of the way the night has gone. Kenzie's been very good, but a few things have just not been quite as buttoned up as we've seen, both on defense and pitch-wise.
So that goes down as a single to the pitcher's mound. And a couple of RBIs. Bunt attempt there by Jada Ellison at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1. Wild pitch.
Yeah, that one sailed inside, and just her location is not where we usually see it here tonight. You know, she had the 4 walks against Oklahoma, 4 walks here tonight, and there is something to like navigating a lineup, you know, and having those hitters that you don't exactly want to attack, but sometimes especially with this club, you know, they want to put it in play. You get to the bottom of the lineup, they're trying to get a bunt down or maybe take a walk.
Jade Ellison at the plate, the 2-2 with 2 outs. Kenzie Brown gets out of the inning. We got Shonda Stanton for Indiana joining us on the broadcast next as her Hoosiers now lead 2-0 in the ballgame. Arizona State and IU going head-to-head. Indiana nags on a couple of runs there, and it's a 2-0 ball game as we are joined by the head coach of the Hoosiers, Coach Stanton. Coach, thanks for your time. We really appreciate it. Obviously, you get a couple of runs there in that inning, but how hard is it to go against a pitcher like Kenzie Brown?
Oh, she's as advertised, right? She's doing a great job. She can work up and down and uses her change when she needs to. But I love what Hessa's doing, too, on our side of the ball, and then great for Ellie to clutch up there after a walk. We needed a little better base running, but I'll take the 2-0 lead. A lot of ball game. Got to lock it down now. Defense wins you ball games.
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up, Coach. It seems like walks have been the key here. What's the approach against Brown?
Eyes down, right? And you're not thinking, all you're thinking is swing. You got to get your swings off. You got to hunt. You're not guessing whether she's going up or down. Your eyes are down. You're trying to get the barrel out. So whether you go bat on shoulder, whether you go open up, you got to freaking compete and just get your barrel to the ball. And you got to be okay with swinging and missing because she's a great pitcher in the circle. Beautiful night here. So thanks to ASU for hosting. And stay tuned. Got to have a ball game.
Yeah, real quick one if I can. Hess, what do you like about what she's doing out there?
Well, she's doing her. She's working all quadrants. Her changeup is working as well. And she's competing. We trust her, and that's why she has the game ball. We're really proud of what she's doing.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Go IU.
Hoosiers up 2-0. Hess back to work on the mound to face the heart of the order for the Sun Devils. Mejia leads things off, the right fielder, and immediately Hess gets ahead in the count.
Yeah, Hess working all the quadrants, using the changeup. I do want to mention something real quick. I know Kenzie's not out there right now, but I love what she said about being okay with swinging and missing. Like, get your swing around. If you think it's a good, your eyes down, try to, if you see it down, swing at it. But, you know, I think also mentally be okay with that. And they haven't done a whole lot of it. I mean, they've had, I guess, actually 5 of the 7 strikeouts, or we had 8. 1, 2, 3. Higher math.
She's got 9 strikeouts.
9 strikeouts. Yeah, there's been a fair amount of swing and miss, but
that one sails. Count goes even.
And now if you're Taylor Hess, you've got a 2-0 lead against the Kenzie Brown-led Arizona State Sun Devils. So you know how hard it is for your team to come across some runs.
In the inner center field, and that one, Parker just can't get to it in time. So a ball flipped into center from Mejia, and it's a leadoff single.
Ashley Mejia, she's so good at getting the ball in the air, and this just drops out in front of the center fielder. And we saw a great catch from Tanya Windle in game 1 where she dove and made that play, but that one just, she's unable to come up with it.
Kaylee Pond swings at the first pitch she sees. It's a pop fly playable, and Kettleman makes the catch. So Pond popped out on the first pitch against Hess in her second at bat.
Yeah, I thought she could square that one up. ended up being an easy pop-up over there for Kettleman.
Jasmine Roberts flew out to right field in her first at bat. Hitting .357 now after that first at bat, and has 5 hits in 14 at bats this year.
Yeah, she's been so good. Doesn't have a real long swing, just is able to get inside the ball, and way more mature than most freshmen.
The 1-1. Takes on the inside corner for a strike. Ashley Mejia hasn't tried to steal yet this season. She's scored as a run twice over at first base now. Jasmine hitting .625 with runners on base this year so far.
Yeah, that's the clutch gene, right? Just looking to not do too much, put the ball in play. Of course, Mejia just at first, and Hess with a good rise that she fouled back.
Here's pitch number 65 for Hess. Just her second strikeout of the game.
Boy, Hess is really doing a nice job of moving the ball around, and that tails inside, good movement, where Jasmine just thought she was going to be able to get to that ball. You see her try to stay inside and catch a barrel there, but well placed by Hess.
So Mejia took off there, and Swan fights that pitch off. No balls and 1 strike.
Swan had the big homer to end the game against Northwestern.
We were there for that.
We were. That was exciting. She's got some pop in the bat. We know that for sure.
2 home runs hit in that game against Northwestern. And ASU with just 2 hits so far in this ball game, one of which came in this inning from Mejia, who's standing on first. Swan, the catcher. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And that's the difference here, is that Hess is just getting ahead by throwing strikes, and her rise has been good. Inside pitch to righties has been very good.
Driven to right field. This is over the head of Haberstroh. Rounding second and getting all the way to third base is Mejia, and a stand-up double for Sammy Swan.
Well, Swan had seen an array of pitches from Taylor Hess, and this one is a little elevated, gets the bat up there, and boy, she can really hit, Samantha Swan. We saw her play first base earlier today. What she does as a catcher, so valuable, and she's down in that 7 hole, which makes the bottom of this lineup so dangerous, so deep this year, because you've got really good hitters even at the bottom.
So Sammy Swan stands on second base now. And on third base is Ashley Mejia. And in Millie Roberts' place, we'll have a pinch hitter, Avery Matroni.
Avery Matroni has come in as an 18-year-old freshman and really has shown everyone that she can really hit. And she doesn't wait around either. She attacks. If she sees that ball, that very first pitch in the hitting zone, she is going to take a good swing on it. And we saw that in the last game. She came in as a pinch hitter in that game, and then we saw her be a real big part of the walk-off that Chester had against Memphis by coming in and just on the attack.
We were talking to Coach Bartlett about Matroni. She said she's such a natural hitter with a crazy amount of advanced barrel control. She's confident and very fluid at the plate and has just a nice swing. And sometimes that's something you can't teach.
Yeah, Virginia Unity Johnson, her travel team.
On the ground to second base, Van Brandt's got it. An easy one to end the inning. ASU strands 2, and we go to the top of the 5th inning with Indiana having a 2-run lead. No matter the sport, Saturday, the Sun Devils and Wildcats meet at high noon for their second Territorial Cup game of the women's basketball season. ASU has won 31 of 46, including January 28th, and will look for the season sweep. If you're not on the bus to Tucson, tune in on ESPN+.
Are you driving that bus?
I will not be driving that bus. I actually have a baseball game, or actually have a softball game to call that day. Baseball game the day after, and when they updated the rankings recently, it actually showed ASU would have been the last team in. I know they have the last 4 teams in, last 4 teams out. They would have been the last 4 teams in based on
that was
ESPN bracketology.
A huge win last night. I was there for that one, and what a great game, kind of back and forth. The Sun Devils were in control for most of it, but it was really close. And so beating Utah twice, they were kind of neck and neck. Utah was a little bit ahead of them, it felt like, and then for them to beat Utah, and now if they can end up sweeping the Wildcats, terrific season, 20 wins. And counting, of course.
Yeah. Allie Van Brandt.
So, yeah, here we are at the top of the order again, and let's see how Kenzie's going to navigate this. We know the hitters have, now Allie Van Brandt has struck out twice, so Kenzie's had her number.
Still hitting .571 on the season. And the 1-1. Lifted in the air to right center field. This one's going to drop and hit the base of the wall. Rounding first up to second base, Allie Van Brandt, a leadoff double.
I mean, that's the thing about third time through the order, and doesn't usually happen to Kenzie Brown, but you just get a better idea of what's coming your way. And she is a slugger, had 2 home runs in the first game, so she's feeling it a little bit today. She's a big-time catalyst on this Indiana team. Their coach, we talked to her, was happy with the approach for sure.
Bunt laid down, and it actually gets fouled back to the screen.
Which just tells you how good Kenzie Brown is, because if you're feeling pretty good, you've got a 2-0 lead, you like some of the at-bats, but you've still struck out 8 times or 9 times.
Yeah.
It's like, what? But that's how good she is. If you can chip away, if you can get anything, if you can get a base runner here and there, no less a run, you're feeling like you've accomplished something.
Bunt laid down, Kenzie Brown to field it. A little bit of pitcher fielding practice, and with 1 out, Allie Van Brandt on third base in scoring position as Alex Cooper does the job. And now the big hitter, Avery Parker, comes to the plate.
So you have one of your better hitters in Alex Cooper, but you just want to bunt the runner over, and they do that. They do their fundamental offensive tactics very well.
It's backyard softball at its finest. Avery Parker
I don't know.
takes a huge
I never bunted when I was playing in the backyard, did you?
I never bunted ever. I swung through bunt signs, actually.
That'll get you benched, maybe, right?
It will, unless you hit a double
Ooh,
or a home run.
There you go.
I still got chewed out in the dugout, though.
Well, at least it probably felt good, though, anyway. If you...
Yep. Off the knob of the bat, this is going to score a run. Avery Parker comes through with an RBI, and it's a 3-0 game.
Well, that was wild because, yeah, it had a lot of spin on it, that ball. So when you watch this ball, let's take a look at this off the end of the bat, and then it just, well, we didn't see the bounce, but it actually went the completely other way because there was so much spin on it. But either way, Avery Parker, that's the goal here. They just want to get it done. They don't care if it's pretty or not. Small ball.
Josie Bird. takes up ball one. Back to your thoughts on Kenzie Brown real quick. Definitely a little bit of a different way to pitch when you're tied versus when you're down, but Kenzie's had a really hard time, I think, this season trying to pitch with the lead, and that really is because of the offense and the run scoring behind Kenzie Brown this season. If she was able to pitch with the lead, I think, you can't be pitching for as many strikeouts. You're just going to pitch for outs at that point and let your defense go to work, correct?
Yeah, I mean, Oklahoma, they were up 1-0, and she just had a walk and a homer. I think her process is the same, Jesse. I think she's unique that way. I think that she is so good at striking batters out because her stuff is so nasty. But yeah, definitely that makes sense. It does. And now you get down and you get in a hole, and she's given up 3 already. You feel like that's way more than what Kenzie's usually given up. So now it's really up to the offense to pick her up, because she's picked up her team so much. And there's another walk. She's just really, they're wearing her down a little bit, and she's not locating the way that we normally see her locating.
Kenzie Brown's 5th walk of the night, and you know what they say, walks lead to runs.
Her career high in a game is 6. Last year, season high was 6 walks against UC Santa Barbara. So this is something like, you usually see with Kenzie, I've seen her so many times just mow down the lineup for 4 or 5 innings, and then maybe you see the walks come up and happen more later in the game. And in this game, Indiana's done a really nice job of being patient.
Haberstroh on a swing through.
Another great rise ball from Kenzie to start her off.
So now she's walked Josie Bird twice, and if it weren't from a good throw from Mejia and right, this could be a 4-0 ball game. Through Josie Bird going from third to home throughout. One ball, one strike.
Ooh.
Look out.
Absolutely look out. That flew right over to the on-deck circle. And she just lost the handle on that one.
Almost a little bit of friendly fire there. Good thing no one was hurt. One ball and 2 strikes.
Brooke Mannon, keep your head on a swivel.
Way outside.
Really nice pitch, though, and that's she was blown away by the pitch, bat out of hand and everything, but
Haberstroh walked in the 4th inning. Her only time on base so far. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
I mean, let's go back to what we said early in the broadcast. Last year, think about it, Indiana led the nation batting average, on-base percentage. Doubles. They steal a ton of bases. This is a very pesky offense.
That is driven to right field. If it's fair, it's a home run, and it's foul.
It was driven, that is for sure. But luckily for the Sun Devils, foul by 5 feet, maybe 6 feet. So
a very long foul ball, and the count stays 2-2.
Yeah. And it goes into the night. Yeah, it was actually, it was pretty deep.
The 2-2. Kenzie Brown's got 10 strikeouts in the ball game. Her 3rd time with 10 or more strikeouts this season. Four whole innings on the mound. Taylor Hess has only given up 3 hits and no runs.
She's done a real nice job working all corners of the plate, all quadrants, as we heard Coach Stanton talk about. You know, she had a poor outing. Oh, there's a new friend in the outfield. I don't know if I want to get into a race with the bunny. You know,
And he's in foul territory now. Is he going to go out the gate, though? No, he wants to stay and play. Maybe he'll get in the game into the bullpen. Still loose. He's running towards the dugout. Someone's going home with a bunny, and now he's coming home. Here comes the throw. There's no throw. He's safe over at first and still going. Now
was
towards the
awesome.
other dugout, and I think he's out of play.
I love that he crossed the mound. Like, he's just said, I'm gonna just cross this diamond, run right in front of the pitcher Taylor Hess, and keep going. It was wild, Jesse. Nice play-by-play on that, Jesse. That was like the Kevin Harlan with the what animal was that?
That
On the
was
football
a
field.
cat.
A cat.
As
That was.
first batter gets hit by the pitch.
There's Yazzie Avila.
Caught that
Just
right
looked
elbow
like it,
guard.
Yeah, grazed the elbow guard, and so she's on first. So was it the luck of the bunny, maybe, for the Sun Devils? A little spark. A rally rabbit.
As one might say. I don't think I would say that, but
No, I kind of liked it. Credit to our producer, Trevor Hayes.
yeah.
Could it be the rally rabbit? You know that if they score some runs, we'll have to go back to that.
They're going to have to let a rabbit come out onto the field at the bottom of the 5th inning every single game here at home.
That's right. Pull a rabbit out of the hat. You know, it's just so funny. I saw a bunny in my yard today, first time. Because we see them a lot in the spring, but I
Wow.
hadn't seen one till just now. Uh-oh, what do we have here?
Meeting on the mound.
I wanted to come out. The way that they all ran and sprinted out on the field, I thought, I was like, okay, make sure everything's okay with Hess.
Brooke Mannon is warming up.
So
And she's been over there pretty much since the 2nd inning. But every single inning, you see her back there getting her stuff ready with Indiana up 3-0 as we have our conversation out on the mound. And
you want to know a fun fact about Brooke Mannon?
oh, I thought you were going to say bunnies or rabbits. Something about
No,
bunnies or rabbits.
I'll-
All right, please. Yeah, no, give me this
She
one now.
combined with Aisa Silva, now of Arizona State, to throw a no-hitter against South Alabama last year. Just like I said, it was a fun fact. Not necessarily relevant.
It's a great fun
but-
fact. Those two know each other well. Tanya Wendell, 2 balls and no strikes, and she takes one in there for the first strike of the at-bat. Yazzie Avila over at first base does have a stolen bag so far this season. The 2-1, back up the middle. Hess has got it over to first. One away as Avila advances to second.
Hess just really fluid in the circle and getting out of the circle to make the play as Tanya Wendell just hit it back up and acts as the sacrifice there, but a nice easy play for Hess to the first baseman, Josie Bird.
Now Emily Shep takes outside ball 1. And you can say a big difference between what we've seen from Hess and Brown is Brown, you know, was really pitching for those strikeouts. Hess has really let her defense work only 2 strikeouts here in this ball game.
Yeah, she's pitching to contact, and for example, Shep flew out to right, then a ground ball. She's had a mixture, Hess, of ground balls and fly balls.
That one catches the inside corner for the first strike.
She's only walked 2. And then, of course, the hit by pitch to start this inning.
She's only given up 3 hits, 2 of which came in the last inning, the first multi-hit inning for the Sun Devils in this ball game. 2-1. Easy take.
Yeah, way out of the zone.
So Emily Shep in there is the DP today. Shep was part of the Pac-12 all-freshman team her freshman season. and works a walk.
Yeah, third walk by Hess.
Now a force at any base. As Parker behind the plate has a word with her pitcher and Hess on the rubber. And with one out, we're going to have our second mound visit here.
Yeah, they've had some good ones. She came out firing a strike after that last meeting in the circle. You know, just on Hess, as a freshman at Kentucky, 6 appearances, just 2 starts. As a sophomore, she redshirted with the Wildcats, the Kentucky Wildcats, that is. And then last year as a redshirt sophomore. So she's getting her opportunity, Taylor Hess, and she did real well tonight.
Mannon coming in next.
Yeah, Brooke Mannon transferring in from the University of Arizona. So she knows the Sun Devils and she knows this atmosphere here at Farrington. Last year, 7 games, 4 starts, 1-0, 3.71 ERA. This is her 3rd appearance, as you said, Jesse, this year. Just 2 1/3 innings, and they like what they've seen from her. So here she comes in with, it's a little bit of a tough spot, 1 out, 2 on, against her former rival, the Sun Devils. It's a good drop, but low.
Mannon so far this season, 5 strikeouts through 2 innings pitched.
Well, it's
Okay.
early.
Those are Kenzie Brown numbers. That one ends up outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
She came in and she got 1 out at Florida Atlantic, and then against West Point, 2 innings, scoreless, 4 strikeouts in an 8-2 win.
Big swing and a miss from Chester as the runners advanced on the pass ball. So Avila over on third base now. Emily Shep is on second base.
Well, Chester's been really good in these situations, and the count's in her favor, 2-1. You know, what you can see with Mannon is she's got good latent movement down, but she's a good down ball hitter, Katie Chester.
And the 2-1. Right on time with that one and fouls it back to the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And that one Mannon elevated. So she'll change the eye level.
Chester with 7 RBIs already on the season. Hitting .571 with runners in scoring position in the 2-2. On the ground to second softly. Van Brandt over to first. And the first run comes across for the Sun Devils.
Katie Chester just continues to have these productive at-bats. Again, I said it in the previous game, whatever is called for, she's there to do it, so she puts this in play. Run comes home. She makes the second out, but the Sun Devils get on the board, and they hang right in there. They're just trying to chip away at this lead, and now instead of being down by 3, down by 2 with a runner on third.
3-1 game. And here is Mejia. Mejia 1 for 2, singled in the last inning to start that one off. Hit a comebacker right at Hess on the mound. Popped up and out of play. So Brooke Mannon still is not given up an earned run so far this season. Remember, these runners on base will go against Hess. Pitch way inside.
Job by Parker, not letting that one get away. She had to reach way inside, otherwise that run is potentially coming home.
The 2-1.
Great pitch, low in the zone and tailing even lower.
Ashley Mejia at the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the payoff from Mannon.
And Mannon saw up close and personal Mejia's freshman season where she had the 13 home runs, so she knows she's able to get a hold of one and power it out of here, but I think that's why we're also seeing her pitch low and away.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Foul off to the right side.
And that was in the middle of the zone. Ashley likes to take that pitch and drive it.
Mejia 5 hits so far on the season and 18 at-bats and 2 RBIs. The 3-2 from Mannon. Mejia stays alive.
Working her inside on the hands, but just able to get a piece of it. It's a big
Good
moment.
battle.
Yeah, it's a big moment. 3-2, 2 out. Who's going to win it?
Mejia, the right fielder, in the left-handed batter's box. We replay 3-2. She works a walk.
And she wasn't going to give her another. That one that she fouled back was very hittable, and she did not want to give her anything that was going to potentially tie this game. So she takes her base. But Kaylee Pond, she's capable of taking one out or driving a ball to the gap as well.
Kaylee Pond 2 for 3 against Portland State. Had a home run in the 6th inning with 1 out. Here she is with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Takes in there for a strike. Runners at 1st and 3rd. Mejia is at 1st. Shep is at 3rd. That one sails. Kaylee Pond started all 58 games last year as a redshirt junior. Swings through that pitch.
Yeah, Mannon changing speeds. Pond thought she had that timed up, and then it was also had good movement on it.
Mannon has already thrown 15 pitches here. That's driven to left center field, way into the night. Tie ball game, courtesy of Kaylee Pond.
That ball was crushed. Kaylee Pond gives the Sun Devils the lead. 3-run home run. And she just wore down Mannon a little bit with this count. 3-2, sees pitch, hits it, gets it out of here. Her arm goes in the air immediately. She knew she got all of it. That's her 3rd of the season and the 2nd on the day. And Kaylee Pond's bat's really heating up, Jesse.
Knew it right off the bat, and we were talking about it earlier. She was hitting in the leadoff spot. Now here hitting 5 in the order. Seems to have caught a little fire as Arizona State takes the lead 4-3 in this one. And all it takes is one pitch, and you know, we've seen it on both sides now. These walks end up coming back to haunt you.
You talk about building an inning. Avila gets hit by the pitch. Wendell moves her over. Shep walks. They're just kind of working the counts. Then you have, you know, new pitcher coming in. Mejia worked a walk. What a 2-out rally for the Sun Devils.
So that bunny.
The bunny.
It's just gonna say the Rally Rabbit.
Where is the Rally Rabbit right now? That's my question.
Jasmarie Roberts 0 for 2 in this ball game, and
He's probably having some carrots over a flower child. Why not? Maybe his work's done here, maybe not.
he's done his thing. And we have movement in the bullpen for Indiana again, as we have our first mound visit to Mannon out there in the circle. Jasmine Reyes and Ella Trout
Yeah.
getting loose.
Jasmine Reyes along with Taylor Hess, the two returning pitchers to this staff, and then Ella Trout coming in, a sophomore. She pitched, I believe, yeah, she did a nice job pitching in that first game here against Portland State. 5 innings, no runs, just 1 hit. They were completely in control of that one. This one, quite a different story, as we've had a back and forth affair now that the Devils have taken the lead.
Kenzie Brown will go back out onto the mound with a lead.
Yes. Will it be 1 run, or will they be able to continue this?
Because based on what I know of this sport, I don't think you can score negative runs. So
When Mannon, she'd like to have that pitch back, but you know, it is a tough lineup, and you've got a veteran hitter like Kaylee Pond. So now I think the meeting, and you saw Coach Chandra out there, she's just trying to get her to flush that and stay focused on the task at hand, which is Jasmine Roberts. You have a short memory.
2 balls, 1 strike to Roberts. So Mannon gets ahead here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Flipped into right field. Coming in is Haberstroh, and she makes the catch. ASU gets a couple back. Indiana going back to work. It was a big 4th inning for Indiana.
It really was. Ellie Goins gets a couple of runs home, and it's 2-0, even with Kenzie Brown on the mound. And then in the 5th, Avery Parker just chops this little ground ball, and the run comes home. It's 3-0, but it's 3-1. And for Arizona State, the Rowley Rabbit comes across the circle in front of Taylor Hess. Brooke Mannon gives up a 3-run homer to Kaylee Pond. And the celebration ensues as the Sun Devils take the lead. And the question is, Jesse, did the Rowley Rabbit spark the Sun Devils? I think so. And you called it. You said if they score runs here in this inning, Trevor Hayes, our producer, our great producer, coming up.
Did I actually say that?
You
I
did. You said, well, if they,
Wow.
and sure enough, they did. They answered the bell.
The Rowley
That
Rabbit.
wascally rabbit.
Oh yeah, I did say if that rabbit has something to do with it, you got to find that rabbit and have it come out. I think the fact that it ran across the mound, that's like
Yeah, the
on
circle, yeah,
Halloween
yeah.
or Friday the 13th if a black cat runs in front of you.
I think, you know, I
Softball
know
equivalent.
that Hess started the inning, so yeah, I mean, you could say that the rabbit maybe put a little curse on the circle.
Curse, hex, jinx, whatever you want to call it,
We had a little
ASU
fun with
put up a
that.
4 spot.
That was cool.
in the bottom of the 5th inning. And now Brooke Mannon at the plate, a chance. She squares around to bunt this one. It is fair as Swan comes up from behind the plate to make the play. 1 away in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, Brooke Mannon just trying to find a way to get on base against Kenzie Brown. Shows bunt last minute, gets it down, but that's an out thanks to Sam Swan, and the smooth play over to Katie Chester.
Cassidy Kettleman, the lefty in the box now to face Brown, and Brown misses away.
And now the tables have turned, and Kenzie Brown comes out to the circle with a 1-run lead.
Kettleman reached on an error in the second inning and then was stranded there.
She looked like that one kind of got away from her, and sure enough, she kind of had to wipe her hand on the towel, on her leg, and then the towel, and then the leg and the towel. I feel like it's not exactly humid here, but I feel like she definitely lost her grip on that. She's going to get a new ball.
Kettleman at the plate with her team trailing by 1, ahead in this count, 2-0. Hit .316 in 46 appearances last year as a junior. The third baseman for the Hoosiers.
Ooh, with the knob of the bat.
Knob of the bat. Counts as a strike.
And you take a look, it goes to swing and it just catches the knob. She looks down. Kettleman does. She had 3 runs batted in game 1.
Pitch 96 there from Kenzie Brown, and we know that Coach Bartlett trusts her to throw 110 plus pitches in a game.
Well, that was a gorgeous changeup. Coach Bartlett told us when she spoke with us in the 4th inning, and thanks to the coaches again for doing that. She's changing speeds well tonight. That was a great example of that.
Just misses.
Swan did a good job trying to frame that more to the middle, but it was a bit outside. Yeah, just
great job by Swan. Yeah, setting up outside and giving the umpire a good look at it. Fouled off to the left.
This goes again outside with that screwball action to the lefty.
Kettleman battling with a full count here against Kenzie Brown.
And battling is a great word for what they've done against Kenzie. They've worked their fair share of walks.
That one low. Ball 4.
That's another one. That was the change, but too low for the hitter to be fooled by it. So Kettleman is on. And then
ties her season high last year of 6 walks in a game. With one out, runner on first, Ellie Goins steps up to the plate. She's already singled against Kenzie Brown in this game. Flew out to right in her first at bat, 1 for 2. Center field. This one's a blast. It's never coming back.
Ellie Goins, what a night for her, driving in 2 on a ball up the middle, and then no doubt on that one, driving it out to center field, showing that she's got a little power as well. And Kenzie Brown is very hard to solve for most batters, but Goins has found a way to get a barrel on it here, and now in this seesaw affair, it's Indiana taking the lead.
Now Indiana up 5-4. And those walks really, this season specifically, have come back to bite Kenzie Brown the most.
Yeah.
Just her second home run that she's given up this season.
Yep, it was the homer in the Oklahoma game, and a walk preceded that one as well. I'm not sure. I'm not great at reading lips, but I'm not sure what Coach Bartlett is looking for there. Oh, okay. Maybe she's challenging whether Goins touched the plate coming home.
So here in the top of the 6th inning, Indiana up 5-4. And if Goins didn't touch the plate, that run would come off the board, be the second out of the inning, and we would be tied up. Let's check out the replay.
She did kind of hop.
Back left heel,
Yeah,
maybe?
she hopped over it, but I think she did catch it with her left heel.
That looks pretty definitive.
Yeah, I will say, though, if you're Shonda Stanton, next time you say, hey, let's make sure you're touching the plate, because it looked like her left heel did catch the plate, but I can see where in the moment, without the benefit of the replay, maybe Arizona State did not think she did.
That was pitch 101, by the way, from Kenzie Brown, so she's getting up there.
They've made her work, and, you know, like you said, Jesse, you don't see her get barreled up, taken deep too often, and we're going to take another look at this. Boom.
Those
it just looks
back left to cleat.
It does look like it hits the rubber because it's a little more elevated than the other foot. You almost see the other foot go into the dirt, and then the other foot's a little higher. So I can't blame Arizona State for trying, though.
Yeah. Both these teams 5-1 so far this season. So ASU uses up one of their first challenges there. As the call is upheld. Coach Bartlett still has one more challenge left in her pocket.
Yeah, you heard the cheers from Indiana's dugout before we even heard the mic. The mic was a little bit in and out, but Kenzie Brown back to work. Jada Ellison has been up a couple times, and she has shown bunt. I think that's her strategy here, probably what she's trying to do, but we'll see.
That one offered at by Ellison. No balls and 2 strikes. One ball and 2 strikes to Jada Ellison, the left fielder who's struck out twice. Third time's a charm.
Yeah, she just chops at it and was overmatched there on the pitch and the velocity from Kenzie Brown, who takes a deep breath, 2 outs. She tries to keep this a 1-run game. And she just stays low in the zone, and Ellison tries to golf at it, but can't make any contact.
Allie Van Brandt, the second baseman, back in the box for her 4th time up in this ball game. 1-0 the count. Swan gets Brown a call there.
A dramatic turn of events in this game. Pond, 3-run homer. Goins, 2-run homer.
Yep.
It's a good one.
Top of the 6th inning still with 2 outs. Pitch 108 from Kenzie Brown. Skied into right field. Coming over and making the catch is Mejia to end the inning.
And so the Devils entered with a 1-run lead, but the Hoosiers had something to say about it. Ellie Goins already drove in 2, drives in another pair with her home run to make it a 5-4 Indiana lead.
Sammy Swan has come up big in big moments as she leads off this inning.
Well, she sure has. She came up with a home run to end the game against Northwestern, made it an 8-run lead, 8-0 shutout. Sam Swan called game in that one. So we've had a lot of drama in the last inning, last 2 innings here, I should say, and it's going to continue now as Swan will lead it off against a new pitcher in Ella Trout. Trout is the sophomore from Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. And yeah, Sam Swan, what a moment that was. And, you know, I just have a feeling, Jesse, there's more drama to come. Rabbit or no rabbit.
I mean, at this point, we might see a golden eagle, a deer. What other animals do they have in the Sun Valley down here?
We don't see a ton
Foxes?
of deer here, but yeah, coyotes.
There you go.
Definitely see coyotes roaming around.
Sun Devils. 1 ball, no strikes to the catcher. She takes the first 2. Here leading off the bottom of the 6th inning. Top of the 6th, Indiana put up a 2 spot. Now leads 5-4. 2 balls and no strikes. Here's Trout. Missing the first 3 pitches she's thrown to the plate. Trout, a .339 earned run average in 41 1/3 innings pitched last year as a redshirt sophomore. And Ori has pitched a complete game 1-hit shutout against who? Portland State.
Yeah, she was very solid in that 5 innings. Of course, it was a run rule situation. Last year, she was at Georgia.
Misses on her 5th pitch. And it's a leadoff walk for Sammy Swan. Now, Swan's an interesting one because she does have a couple of stolen bases this season. And when I asked Coach Bartlett about stealing her catcher, she said, well, Sammy Swan, she's an athlete. We can play her behind the plate at second base. In the outfield, she'll play wherever we want her to play. And so because of her athleticism, she's able to steal. And unfortunately, she's going to take her out here. But she was laughing as I was saying that.
Yeah, we've
and
seen.
said Sammy Swan is not going to steal 25-plus bags this year, Jesse. Don't worry.
Well, the other thing is that I was even talking about it with Shonda Stanton with Avery Parker, and, you know, she can do it all. And, you know, they don't steal her a lot just based on saving the body, making sure, you know, just trying to, you know, she's the catcher. We all know how valuable the catcher is. You don't want her putting her body in harm's way if you don't have to. But Corey Scholl is the pinch runner over there for the Sun Devils.
So Corey Scholl takes the place of Sammy Swan, and Millie Roberts is back in there at third base. Avery Matroni got her last at bat in the 4th inning. So second at bat of the game for Roberts, who struck out in her first one. Squares around a bunt. This one immediately fielded by Bird and sends this one over to first for the out.
Yeah, after Roberts' strikeout, ground out, now this time she's got the runner on first, so she's just trying to move her over, and she executes the bunt very well.
I believe we're going to have a pinch hitter here. Looks like Ryan Brown is coming up to the plate.
The power of Ryan Brown from Thompson Station, Tennessee.
When we were talking to Coach Bartlett about Brown and her power, she said, you know, in the last couple of games, she pressed and expanded her zone early and just needs to stay within herself and know how good of a hitter she is, because she's got more pop than anyone in the ballpark.
Yeah, most powerful bat she's coached. She said softball and basketball player in high school.
And the first pitch from Trout. Ryan Brown wearing a really good Sun Devil number, 25. As we have a timeout in the field.
Yep, little meeting. Yeah, Ryan Brown previously at Texas and most recently Tennessee. So welcome to Tempe now. And Taylor Hess is warming. Is she warming in the bullpen again? Keeping her arm warm. Ryan Brown, just getting to know her. I like to do this sometimes to get to know our new Sun Devils, daughter of Anitra and Renard. She has 3 sisters, Jordan, Taylor, and Morgan.
Brown, a transfer. Number 21 national recruit coming out of high school. Had a 6.27 average her junior year. And the 1-0. Leaves that one alone. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Coach Chanda Bell probably just coming out with the pinch hitter, trying to remind Ella Trout what you're trying to do here in this at-bat with this hitter now at the plate.
Runner on second, the 1-1.
And with the scouting report saying that she can blast this ball out of here, or she can hit a ground ball 85 miles an hour on the exit velo, you can see where you'd want to be a little careful not to put it in the nitro zone.
Big swing through there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Not much wind here tonight. Seen a lot of balls hit to the outfield that have died. Of course, a couple of home runs as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got her.
Ella Trout taking advantage of the big swing. And Brown, unable to make contact, goes down swinging. And now with 2 outs, you've still got Corey Shull out there, the pinch runner on the Swan walk.
Tanya Wendell hitting in the 1 hole.
Well, she has had a big day. First game, she had the home run, got on base 4 times, and then has a hit here tonight in this game.
And the 1-0 to her. Wendell singled back in the 3rd inning. And did not score. One of the 5 runners left on base in this ball game by the Sun Devils.
3-0. And she puts together a nice patient at bat.
Work the walk.
This is when good things happen for the Sun Devils. Late innings, patient at bats. You've got that starting pitcher out of there. You've got the bullpen putting it together with a mix of different pitchers, and they've had success in these situations. So now, big spot for Emily Shep.
And this is where it's hurt both teams, is those walks. And we have Taylor Hess re-entering the game. We'll take a step back real quick and let Hess get warm. Runners on first and second with 2 outs when we return. The 2026 NCAA Women's Final Four is heading to Arizona. Starting April 2nd, downtown Phoenix will be the home to the biggest stage in women's basketball, including free events for all ages all weekend long. The semifinals will both air on ESPN on Friday, April 3rd, followed by the championship game on ABC on Sunday, April 5th. You can learn more at ncaa.com/women's Final Four. I'll actually be there for my TV show, so
Awesome.
that'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be huge having such a big event here. Phoenix is a great big event city. Jay Perry and the Arizona Alliance, they do a great job of putting on these big events, and cannot wait. Cannot wait to see who's going to be in it as well. Long way to go.
Gino Auriemma and UConn.
It's a pretty good bet.
If I had to guess. Roped into left field. This one is gone. One swing of the bat. Emily Shep got one.
They made the pitching change, and Emily Shep did some damage to the lefty Taylor Hess, and the Sun Devils take the lead back. Back and forth we go. Shep takes a swing, pulls it down the left field line, and that is a laser beam out of here. 7-5 the lead now. Wow, what a game we've got.
Did I not say walks lead to runs?
You did.
Both sides. The walks have killed them.
I mean, Emily Shep, she's had a great day. She had a walk earlier in this game, came around to score. Home run earlier against Portland State, had 2 singles and a double. Scored twice in that one, so she has come around to score 4 times on the day, twice in this game.
Katie Chester, the first baseman at the plate, has gotten on board once by the way of walk. Back in the first inning and lines this one into center field, base hit. Good piece of hitting there.
Katie Hester just gets hits. She just gets hits.
Hitting over 370 now on the season. Her 8th hit of the year.
Okay, I know we have another inning to go, but you know, is the rabbit off the hook now that the Sun Devils have the lead?
I don't know.
Or we're going to let that just settle. We're going to let everything settle, and then we'll figure that out.
So we're going to have another pitching change here. New pitcher in the ball game is Jasmine Reyes, and we'll step aside for a moment. Runner on first with 2 gone in the bottom of the 6th. So a new pinch runner and a new pitcher on the mound.
Yeah, new pitcher on the mound is Jasmine Reyes, as you mentioned before the break, and she's a sophomore. She's one of the 2 returners alongside with Hess. Hess came into the game. That was the move strategically, but Emily Shep, she changed all of that and foiled those plans with the home run. And now Jasmine Reyes steps in, sophomore from Oxnard, California. Last year made 14 starts in 26 appearances, had 3 complete games.
So Yaya Acuna over at first base is the pinch runner. 1 ball, no strikes. Off speed in there.
Yeah, that's a super slow changeup. Landed for a strike.
And the 1-1 to Mejia.
I wonder if these 2 know each other. Mejia, also a sophomore from the same area of California.
3 balls, excuse me, and 1 strike, 2 balls in a row. Coming from Reyes there.
I know Mejia has big power.
Over the other way, diving was Cooper, not in time to get there. And I think if she even fielded that cleanly, would have had a tough time throwing out Mejia, hustling up the line.
That does a good job hitting this one, and just she can't knock it down over there. Alex Cooper.
Kaylee Pond now at the plate. Had a big swing of the bat in her last time up. She's had a great day today so far. Home run in that first game against Portland State back in the 6th inning. 3-run home run here in the bottom of the 5th, the 1-0. on the ground softly to first base. Bird has it and will hustle over to first base in time to get the third out of the inning. ASU scores 3 in the bottom of the 6th there.
And what an inning it was for Arizona State. It's Emily Shep putting a charge into that one as the Sun Devils retake the lead 7-5.
But we had a challenge there. And the call does stand.
Even with that safety base over there, the orange base, you know, Kaylee Pond did the right thing to dive, but it was still a little bit of danger because she got tangled up over there. But they wanted to take a look at it to see if she was in fact safe, and I thought maybe she would be. It was pretty close, I thought, from here. She gets the hand in there, but Josie Bird, and it is dangerous because you see, let's get a better angle on Bird getting to the bag. Yeah, Bird just did it look like get her foot on the base before Pond made contact with it.
And
but
fortunately enough, Kaylee Pond didn't catch a cleat to the hand or the arm there. And
that's what it's supposed to try to avoid doing, having collisions like that. And it does many times. It's just on that one. That was a tough play, but inning is over.
We'll be back in 30 seconds. Through 6 whole innings of play, Arizona State with a 2-run lead is now Brown is back out in the circle for a chance to both get the win and a save.
Well, she is looking for that complete game victory, and, you know, who wouldn't want Kenzie Brown out there to close this thing out? Now, it hasn't been a perfect night on her part, but if you're just, both sides are telling themselves right now, hey, this is a clean slate. We just have to go out and execute. For the Sun Devils, it's 3 outs, you get the win. For the Hoosiers, it's continue to battle because they've made her work. 6 walks. She has certainly had a ton of strikeouts again.
Fortunately enough, if you're a Hoosier fan, you got 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup right now. Right in the heart of your order.
The Coopers had 2 walks and then a bunt.
That one just misses outside. Cooper walked back in the 1st and 3rd inning and then grounded out right back to Brown in the 5th.
Kenzie with 11 strikeouts.
Gets that one in there, strike 2.
Look like changing speeds, really working for her there.
One ball, 2 strikes. 12 strikeouts for the ace.
Well, that's the difference. In the previous at-bats, Alex Cooper had some leverage in the count, but there, Kenzie had 2 strikes on her, and the rise ball is her put-away pitch. And there it is, up and away from Alex Cooper. And she gets out number 1 here in the 7th.
Now it's Avery Parker into the box. Collected an RBI in her last at bat, but struck out twice. And you talk about some people have your number. Well, Kenzie's pretty much had Parker's number in this ball game. Cooper had Kenzie's number. 2 strikes.
And she,
1 ball, 1
she
strike.
did drive in that run on a fielder's choice earlier,
Yep.
but, you know, again, for most batters and Avery Parker's experience in it, sometimes it's hard to just make some contact and get anything done against Kenzie.
And Alex Cooper, again, walked twice in this game, and Kenzie really didn't throw her a strike in those first 2 at-bats. And Parker now here in the box. Lifts this one in the air to right field. It's carrying, and this one is out of here.
Avery Parker continues her hot hitting in this 7th inning. It's been a little bit of a rough day for her at the plate, but that all changed with 1 swing. Came into this game batting .636. 2 home runs on the season, so that is number 3 for her. And that makes it another 1-run game. Kenzie Brown hanging on the slimmest of margins here with 2 outs to get after the Avery Parker home run.
That was pitch number 116 for Kenzie Brown. Here's Josie Bird. 0 for 1 in this game with 2 walks. Struck out in her first at bat to Kenzie Brown, and Kenzie throws her a first pitch strike.
And we've got the lefty, Aisa Silva, and Mika Lupi, the right-hander, getting loose in the pen, just in case. The way this game has gone back and forth, you at this point wonder if it's going to continue. That's a nice job changing speeds. That changeup is really good.
And you saw both Silva and Lupi just a couple hours ago, right?
Yeah, and Aisa Silva is not as sharp as we've seen her. Mika Lupe looked pretty good to finish off the game.
That one left inside, ball 1.
I mean, Kenzie Brown just wants to finish it.
Yeah.
Finish it here. 1 out, so she's got to get the next 2 batters.
She's got 1 ball and 2 strikes. 13 strikeouts, tying her season high against Oklahoma.
And Josie Bird, who had walked in the previous 2 at-bats, takes a swing there, and Kenzie Brown, it's just got some late movement inside. Really nice pitch from Kenzie Brown to get her 13th strikeout on the day.
Hannah Haberstroh. Kenzie giving up 6 earned runs in this ball game. And 3 was the most she gave up last year, now trailing in this count as she evens it up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Haberstroh's gotten on base once and scored. Was the first run scored in this game back in the 4th inning. Kenzie Brown misses outside on that one. These are those moments when you got to dig deep. Your arm's going to fall off. 123 pitches thrown for Kenzie Brown. 13 strikeouts through 6 2/3, the 2-1.
Nice pitch. She's got, you mentioned that, and it's not easy, but 124, I mean, Kenzie Brown, she's got great stamina, She's well conditioned, and I think more than anything, she's mentally strong to take this to the finish line.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The ace for Arizona State. Ball game.
Swing and a miss up to Hanner Haberstroh, and that'll do it. Terrific job of Kenzie Brown coming up big when she needed it most to finish this inning off. That is strike 2, followed up with a similar pitch, but she elevates it higher. Rise ball is money once again. And what a battle, what a game, Jesse, between these two teams. Indiana came out early, took a 3-0 lead. ASU got on the board. It went back and forth, couple of big homers on both sides, and it's a 7-6 victory.
Kenzie Brown throws 125 pitches, goes 7 innings, gives up 5 hits, 6 earned runs, 6 walks, 14 strikeouts, a couple of home runs, but she gets the win and the save. An incredible victory for her.
Yeah, she had to work her way around those 6 walks, 5 hits, a couple of homers, but for the Sun Devils, this offense kept battling back, and I believe we have our post-game guest now, Jesse, right?
Yeah, Kaylee Pond. Kaylee, thanks so much for taking some time to join us. You had 2 home runs today. What pitches have you been hunting at the plate, and what about your approach has been working today?
Honestly, I feel like I've been expanding out of the zone a little bit, so I was just trying to see middle. My version of middle can be a little big. I'm a little competitive at the plate at sometimes. Oh, feeling the love, okay. But yeah, so just middle. Of course, it's probably not middle when I watch film, so, you know, that's that.
But Kelly, these were 2 dramatic wins in some ways. I mean, Portland State, you guys were tied. You had a big home run, you and Tanya Wendell, and then this one. But how would you describe this game with Indiana?
Oh, yeah, I mean, this was a great team win overall. Obviously, like, Kenzie Brown on the mound, such a presence, right? It's just happy for the offense to have her back in those moments as well. I mean, she was still doing great. A little bit of a tight zone there. So we just took advantage of that on the offense and defensive end as well.
It looked like you knew that was gone right away. What did you see there from Brooke Mannon?
I mean, I don't know. Barrel is barrel. I just know how it feels off the bat. And then I don't try to celebrate too hard because, you know, one day it might get me. But that one just felt good right there. Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining us, Kaylee. We appreciate it. Congrats on the win.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Kaylee.
Thank you.
Real quick, Jody, the bats come alive today for Arizona State. How do they improve?
I mean, they really did. Game 1, not a problem. 5 runs early in the first inning, and then, you know, it was a battle to stay in the game. They gave up 5, and then they came out with 11 in that first one, 7 in this one against a quality team in Indiana. We talked about their tournament team last 3 years. So another quality victory, and boy, Arizona State, just a terrific. They only lost to Oklahoma, 6-1 now. You have to love the start that they're off to. Club Farrington, popping. Everybody is coming out to see this team play. They still have Kenzie Brown, but they've added pieces around her. And I mean, Kenzie Brown is electric, right? It kind of reminds me, this is kind of a weird comparison, but again, I've covered Major League Baseball for almost 30 years. It's like Randy Johnson being on the mound. She's that dominant. So it's really fun to watch, and the rest of the team is very complimentary to that.
So for Jody Jackson, I'm Jesse O saying so long from Farrington Softball Stadium in Tempe, Arizona, where ASU wins 7-6 tomorrow, 6:15 p.m. on ESPN Plus against Nevada. Club Farrington will be rocking. We'll see you there. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.